These chasu style pork ribs are an absolute meat candy and they were cooked in an air fryer. They are tender inside with this sticky delicious chasu glaze on the outside. And while many recipes tell you to stick the marinated ribs right in the air fryer without a care, that's usually how air fried ribs end up dry and in some cases even burnt. So today I'm going to show you a foolproof way to make air fried chasu pork ribs with simple ingredients you probably already have in your pantry. Let's go! Let's start with the ribs. I've got two cuts here, baby backs and spare ribs. Baby backs are a bit leaner and more tender. Spare ribs have more fat, a bit more chew and need just a little more cook time for the connective tissues to break down. Begin by pouring a generous amount of salt on both sides. Once this sits in the fridge, the salt pulls moisture out, gets dissolved in it, and then gets absorbed right back in, carrying that seasoning deeper into the meat. It also helps with tenderizing the meat. Leave this in the fridge uncovered for at least a couple of hours or even up to 2 days if you've got the time. Chasu marinades can get pretty involving. A bunch of Chinese condiments and sometimes nam yi, that fermented red bean curd which gives chasu its signature red color. Now we're not going to go that far and one might say that this looks like it's got food dye. But let me assure you, it's just a pigment of their imagination. Bottom line, we're keeping this chasu simple, using things you probably already have. Into a bowl, add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of Chinese 5-spice, and a teaspoon of white pepper. Give that a quick mix. Then in goes half a cup of light soy sauce, half a cup of hoisin sauce, and about a third of a cup of honey. Whisk it up properly and give it a taste. Mine needs a little more white pepper. Mix again and that's your marinade. At this point, take some of this out and keep it aside. We'll use that later to glaze the ribs. To the rest, we're going to add some chicken stock. Now it's going to dilute and look thinner, but that's exactly what we want because we're not just marinating the ribs in this. We're going to cook them in it first. Now you could use water instead of stock, but the stock adds a bit more depth and umami boost. Give it a mix and that's ready to go. Now for the part that makes this whole thing work. You can use foil trays, air fryer baskets or whatever you've got. I'm going to show you how to do this with a regular aluminium foil and it's going to be more than enough. Take a sheet, place the ribs in the center and fold it up into a rough container. It doesn't have to be fancy, just make sure it's sealed well enough to hold a liquid inside. Next, pour in that marinade, the one we loosened with the stock. Once that's in, cover it with another sheet of foil and press it down along the edges to seal everything in. What you've made here is basically a closed environment. This goes into the air fryer and as this heats up, the liquid steams and the ribs cook gently inside. So instead of blasting them with dry heat right away, we are giving them time to soften, stay juicy and actually absorb that flavor. Now you could do this on a stovetop, in a steamer or even an instant pot. But this way it all happens right here, less equipment, fewer dishes, same result. I'll do the same with the spare ribs. In they go, wrap it up, pour in the liquid, seal it up, and that's it. These are now ready for the air fryer. It's now common knowledge how an air fryer works. It's basically a small convection oven, hot air moving fast in a tight space. That's what makes it really efficient at browning. But size here is a double-edged sword. It's great for small batches, not much else. If you want to nerd out on how air fryers work, Chris Young has a great video on it. Now a lot of recipes will have you throw the ribs straight into the air fryer. And in my experience, that's where things start to dry out. Because you're asking the air fryer to do two things at once. Cook the meat from the inside and at the same time glaze it on the outside. And it's likely to result in meat not getting tender but the outside cooking too fast. But with this method, where we steam the ribs first in that foil setup, we get to control both. The meat stays juicy on the inside and outside gets to become nice and sticky. Start by preheating your air fryer to about 280 degrees Fahrenheit. Then place the foil container in. Let this cook for about 45 minutes or until the internal temperature of the meat hits around 150 degrees Fahrenheit. At this point, it won't look like much, but the meat should be cooked through, tender and ready for the final glaze. Once done, bring that marinade we set aside, brush it on generously on both sides. Then put this back into the air fryer, this time without the foil. Crank the temperature up to about 375 degrees Fahrenheit and let it cook for about 5 to 6 minutes. Give it a few minutes, pull them out, and this is what you get. And this last step is where it all comes together. The sugars caramelize, the surface tightens up, and you get that glossy, sticky finish that everybody craves for. Tender, juicy meat on the inside with that sweet, savory, slightly spiced glaze on the outside. Now you can serve it with rice or just eat it straight off the board. But if you do decide to make these char pork ribs, save a little because these go incredibly well with a banh mi sandwich. Now if you think banh mi sandwiches are complex, in this next video I'll show you how to build one of the greatest sandwiches of all times using ingredients you probably already have. Click here to watch it and I'll see you there.